Now, does the ductwork in your house have a crack problem? We don't have that problem here because we've got mastic on the ducts. This is just one of the things that they're doing in this Legend home, this Earth Advantage certified Legend home, to try to make it a green built home. And we want to talk about the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems in a home. But what's happening here to make sure we have the most efficient system we possibly can?
What's interesting about this is we remember that this device heats and cools our house. And through this distribution system, it's where our energy goes to condition the space. But we sometimes forget that the delivery system is quite important as well. We know that about 15 to as much as 20% of the leakage of the air that I paid to heat and cool is leaking out of the building in conventional houses. But in these houses, in the Earth Advantage homes, and in these Legend houses, we're finding a way to seal the joints to make sure all the energy I paid for gets to the rooms and locations I want without leaking in the garage, into the attic, and other places. Our goal is to get about 6% of that leakage down, and even in some cases lower, to get that air delivered to where we want it to, so it's not contributing to other places in the house.
Now, this is Glenn. What's he doing?
Now, Glenn uses a device called a duct blaster, and what that does is by sealing up the registers, we're able to determine how many leaks are really being managed, and so we can carefully calculate how the air is getting where it's supposed to go and not where it shouldn't go. Glenn can now check this and make sure that the numbers hit, the targets are hit, and it's verified. It's a way that Earth Advantage certifies the performance of a house by actually testing to make sure that happens.
So we want to have 6% or less. What's, like, say, the average house have?
We see somewhere between even 15 and 20% or higher in some markets, because as the joints get stuck together, no one's taking time to manage that connection. But here they go up and they seal the joints, carefully attach them, and that's an important characteristic, because remember, this is about the long-term life of the house. Sustainability is about this house over its lifespan being the most efficient possible.
I can't tell you how many homes I've been in, including mine, where there's just duct tape.
That's right.
And duct tape does not seem to work very well on ducts.
Yeah, duct tape is really good for repairs in like a Kevlar canoe, but
Yeah.
it really doesn't belong on a duct. They often call it duct flags, and what it is, it's temporary tape. So if we want this to be permanent, we have to mastic and seal it properly. Duct tape doesn't work, it doesn't last, and it's not the right product.
There's up to almost like a 20% loss. That's a lot of money when you're paying to heat that air, and then 20% of it dissipates by the time it gets to the register.
That's right. Some of it could leak from a place we don't want it. I don't want to draw it out of a garage, or out of an attic, or out of a crawl space. I want to make sure the air that I've paid to heat, or the air that I'm cooling, gets to where I intend it to go. That's a lot of energy we're spending in electricity and in gas to do that. I want to make sure it goes just to where I want it, not someplace else. My goal isn't to keep the birds on the roof happy, it's to keep my clients happy.
So we're talking about heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. We're also talking about efficient furnaces too, right?
That's correct. Higher efficiency furnaces use the gas better. We're also looking at the idea about filtration and ventilation. I want to make sure that the fresh air I bring in from outside gets to the furnace, gets filtered, heated or cooled, and then adequately delivered to my family's bedrooms and living space. That's an important thing that takes a real approach to do that. We don't get that by accident. We get it by checking it and testing it.